Hello, this is Jim. How are you doing today? We're going to do something a little different today. We're going to do a video. So let's get started with this if we can. I'll be back with you in about 15 minutes. This is Sea Lake, Colorado. It's the old ghost town of what I called Old Granby. The town moved to the south where the railroad tracks came through. And this place just sat empty. In the early to mid 40s, my grandparents moved from Steamboat to Granby. And this is a picture of my Aunt Betty, my mom, and Kelly Edwards, probably around 1944, 45, somewhere in there. My dad moved to town around 1946. He went to help Francis Jenkins open a variety store that my Uncle Charlie and Francis had purchased. Charlie's too sick to make the trip at the time, so my dad took his place. Francis, Elaine, and their son Jay, they opened the trading post. 2 years later, he married my mother. And standing with them are my Aunt Betty, my Aunt Donna, my grandpa, and my grandma. August 15th, 1948. 2 years later, in 1950, I was born. The guy that delivered me was the famous Dr. Seriani at the Kremlin Hospital there. The famous Dr. Seriani. He delivered hundreds of, probably thousands of children in that county over the years. The most famous guy I think ever came out of that county. When I was one, we moved to California. There's a picture of me, my brother John, and my Aunt Connie. She's 5 months younger than me, but she's my Aunt Connie. There at our house in El Cajon, California, a suburb of San Diego. When I was 5, we moved back to Colorado and lived out there on the Cottonwood while we built our house in town. That's me on my donkey, Jenny. Jenny'd always get away and run over to Eddie and Lorraine's ranch. We'd have to go bring Jenny back. But then we moved to town just in time for me to go to school. We lived in the basement there for years and years. Finally, my dad built the garage. After that, he built right on top of the basement. You can see those big picture windows overlook the mountains, Continental Divide, and town. Later on, he built that wing on the right. There's my sister Janice, my brother Don, my brother John, and me. I was probably 12 right then. That had made Janice probably about 4. That looks about right, I would believe. My mom liked to put us in bow ties, that's a fact. I haven't worn a bow tie since. My second grade class picture, from top to bottom, left to right. Butch, Larry Pugh, Jill, Sharon, Marilyn, Bill, Mary Ellen, Patty, Randy, myself, Paula, Linda, Georgia, Rodney, Connie, and Wayne. I can remember them all. There's the old high school. I went to 7th and 8th grade there. It was a junior senior high school. See that gymnasium over there? 1963, we won the Colorado Class B State High School Boys Basketball Championship. That place has a lot of memories. Well, we moved to the hill. On top of the hill for the new high school was built then. Some of the lunch ladies up there, I recognize Frances, Gracie, Alpha Ray. Those are great school lunches, especially the pizza. My high school football coach was Coach DeBay. I had many teachers I loved and felt close to. Leah Beth and Betty Joe are a couple of them. But Coach DeBay was by far and away the best coach that school ever had. Besides winning a high school state basketball championship, we were a powerhouse in both football and basketball. That's us in white at home game. That's the field behind the old high school, playing Walden. I played football. and basketball. And I even lettered several times. And I've got the jacket to prove it. We're purple and white, Middle Park. Middle Park Panthers. I have that jacket today. I even made a podcast about that jacket. If you want to hear it, it's called The Letter Jacket. It was made a couple years ago, but you can find it wherever you listen to your podcasts at. Here's an aerial view of Winter Park Ski Area and the mountains laying around it. My hometown's 8,000 feet above sea level, and that was a major ski area we went to. Even though when I was younger there were small ski areas everywhere, that is the major ski area. And that hometown of mine was surrounded by beautiful mountains. This is a picture of Lake Granby with Abe Lincoln laying there overlooking it. Good old Abe. Once you see him, you can never unsee him. He's always laying there watching out over us. Beautiful, beautiful. And over on another part of the county is Devil's Thumb. Indian lore has it that God and the devil had a mighty battle, and God threw the devil down, and such a force he went into the ground, and the only thing that was left was his thumb sticking out. There's my wife and a couple of my grandchildren there at Grand Lake, overlooking the lake. Beautiful ice cold water, beautiful view, the lake with no bottom. The trading post eventually built a new building, and that building housed the trading post through the 50s and the 60s, the 70s and the 80s. But all things must pass. What a beautiful, iconic part of town. The old Grand Theater, the local movie house. I've got so many memories of that place, I could fill up 3 or 4 podcasts about it. What a wonderful place. And it all started with giving your 25 cents to Barbara Leatherman. Granby Drugstore, Louie, Dwight, and of course Bob. Bob used to call me Granby's first hippie. That drugstore, the soda fountain, you could find anything there. All the wonderful women and high school girls who worked there also. There's the local Legion hut with the iconic cannon. We used to try to roll that cannon down the hill on Halloween night. There's the mayor, Jerry, my Uncle Sam, Bob and Paul standing there with that cannon. Nicest border lodge between Denver and Craig, the El Monte. They even had an outdoor swimming pool. Of course it was heated. I know the picture's a little fuzzy, but I had to show it. That place changed everything for us. There's the Grand Bar. In the old days of the 20s and 30s and early 40s, during the lettuce boom in that country, that was a lettuce warehouse. But it turned into a great bar and cafe. It had a mynah bird in there that when I was a kid, I loved going and see that mynah bird. And of course, Ricky at the Columbine Cafe. You said Santa Claus, you pretty much thought of Ricky. The town showed up for that picture. I can see my dad holding my sister there. I remember that night even. It was cold out. It was a great picture. When I became 16, 17, 18 years old, actually everyone that drives does it. They cruise up and down Main Street. I cruise up and down at night, listen to 1520 AM KOMA out of Oklahoma City, top 40 crystal clear. There's my folks later on in life standing in their living room. That same living room that had the big picture windows. I really miss them. I miss them so much. I'm sure you understand. There's my dad's new store. On the far left there is the trading post building. On the right is the Ford garage, and on the other side of the Ford garage is my dad's old store building. And I hear it's got a very nice shop there now. They fixed it up and it's pretty nice, I take it. There's my brothers and my sisters. We were older. I was about 25 in that picture. The lady standing with us, well, that's for a story for another day. Maybe someday I'll get to tell it. That's me, like old Bob said, Granby's original hippie, but I never thought of myself as a hippie. I kind of thought I was some kind of mountain man. Instead of riding a mule or a horse, I was driving a Ford pickup truck that I got there at the Ford garage. That's my favorite truck of all times, that one right there. And these guys used to ride with me. Chuck a Hawk and Blue Dog. They're laying there in my parents' front yard with Fritzy, the family dog. Those dogs would jump in that truck whenever I was going to go. They wanted to go, and go we did. That was quite the time. They dug me out of a hole somewhere, cleaned me up, dressed me up, and I got to go to my brother John and my sister-in-law Cindy's wedding. That was forever ago, I'll tell you that. John looks pretty nice in that baby blue suit. Then I met a girl, finally met a girl. She rescued me from that desperado lifestyle. We went out to dinner our first day at Dino's there in Hideaway Park. Some of you only know it as Winter Park. Had us a lobster dinner, and one thing led to another, and before you know it, we were married. That's us leaving the church up there in Grand Lake. Same church my parents got married in, John and Cindy got married in, my brother and my sister got married in. Now I've been married for almost 45 years to my girlfriend, the love of my life, my sweetheart. And we had 2 children. They're standing there with my mom and dad. I went back home for my 20-year high school reunion. Posed for that picture. Next thing you know, it's 30 years later. And here I am, standing with Patty and Jill and Connie and Sherry at my 50-year high school reunion. That was back in 2018. Thank you, ladies. You've blessed my heart that night, and I always love you. But you know what they say? They say you can never go back home. There's my dad's old barn and pump house from the farm. It's fallen down, had been painted since Dad was alive. I've been told that the owner of the property now is going to doze it this summer. It'll go back the way it was before my dad even knew Granby existed. So here I am back in northeast Kansas at my little place out there in the country, my pond, my acreage, and my gardens, my never-ending mowing the grass. I want to thank you all for coming along today. It means more than you'll ever know. And that is our video this week. You can find us at babyboomertales.com. You can find these videos different places, but our Facebook page, Baby Boomer Tales, or our YouTube channel, Baby Boomer Tales, are 2 places you can access that. Thank you for riding along today. Always be kind. There's really no other way. I'll be back next time. I'm not sure when. Peace out.